everyone, and welcome to Women Tech Makers Montreal podcast. I'm Stefania, the lead of Women Tech Makers Montreal chapter, and I'm here with...
Hello everyone, I'm Leticia, co-organizer of Women Tech Makers Montreal. I'm super happy to be here today. Today we are going to explore the world of NLP and hear about the inspiring tech journey of our amazing guest who will share her experiences, challenges, and impact in this space.
Yeah, so instead of introducing her, I think it would be better to give her space. So thank you, Laura, to be here today. Who are you? Tell us something about you.
Hi, hello guys. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Laura and my journey in technology started in the end of high school. I used to like the subject chemistry, so I want to become a chemical engineer. But my mom told me, Laura, go to technology field because your brother started in the university and now he has a job. And I grew up in a poor city in São Paulo. São Paulo is a state in Brazil. And when you have this reality, you need to choose the option that will help your family. So I started computer science in 2017 and I knew nothing about programming and technology. And I was really terrible and horrible in programming and technology. This is because everything that I learned was from university. And during my studies, one of my professors told me, Laura, I have an opportunity for you and I want to start a new research about genetic algorithms. And if you want to join me, you need to read this paper. And he sent me this paper. And with this, I met the AI field. And I fell in love. Artificial intelligence is an amazing field. So in 2019, I received my first opportunity to work with AI, specific with NLP at IBM, but was as a consultant data analyst in IBM. And I worked in a project for a bank. And my main goal was to extract information in chatbot and help other professionals understanding the accuracy of the chatbot and understanding the consumer behavior. And with this, I saw the power and all the amazing things that we can do processing unstructured data. But a lot of people and industry didn't see this power. And in 2020, I started my job as senior data scientist working for a pharmaceutical company, which name is Bayer. And now I work for a Brazilian bank as data scientist in AI project, which the name of the company is Itaú. And during my professional journey, I started my master's degree in computer science in 2022. And it was based on textual data and behaviors on social media. And during my experience as data scientist, I work in different NLP projects for different industry with different goals, like sentimental analysis, chatbot analysis, the use of Gen AI. And during my journey in technology, I found with my amazing friends, the AI Girls community, which is a Brazilian community that empowers women in AI and data science fields. And AI Girls was recognized as a partner of Brazilian Computing Society. And we are the first Brazilian community in order to help women in AI field. And now I am community advisor and I still get involved with different events in other Brazilian communities that aims the inclusion and the empowerment of minority groups in technology area. So that's all. Hi, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you, Lara. It's really a joy to have you here because I'm especially happy because besides admiring your work, I also follow you on Instagram, and it's so special to have another Brazilian woman sharing her journey and impact in the tech world. So I'm really happy. Okay, so now I have a question for you. You've worked with NLP in different contexts. So how do you see the evolution of NLP across these industries you've been working? And are there any challenges that they have in common?
So I admire your job too. Like, I follow you on Instagram, and it's amazing to share your space with you. So, okay, I work in projects for different industry like banking, agronomy, and pharmaceutical and mining industries. And over the years, I've seen NLP evolve from a focus on basic automation like keyword detection and simple chatbots. But industries nowadays are not just automating process. For example, they are seeking personalized user experiences, extract strategic insights from unstructured data, and even predict behaviors through language patterns. However, some common challenges remain across industries. For example, the ambiguity of human language, like sarcasm, regional expressions, slangs. So all of these are really hard for models to fully capture and understand. And the second thing is the quality and the bias of training data. And these can deeply affect the system performances and fairness. Finally, there is a growing need to balance innovation with ethical concerns, especially regarding user privacy, data security, and transparency in model decisions. So that's all that I can talk about the evolution of the use of NLP and the main challenge that we still have in the industries.
So it's very interesting, especially that you mentioned the ethical aspects, because I know that your master research focuses on fake news and also the role of online discussion. And I also know that with the generative AI, right now it's very simple for also no expert people to build some bots and create maybe some confusions on the social media area. So what do you think about it, and how do you think this situation will evolve to?
During my master's degree, I worked with different NLP projects, like understanding people attacks on social media regarding democracy and the Brazilian vote system and all the polarization that we still have in Brazil. And this project, I was co-author in this article, and I explore more the correlations between words and people and attacks. So it was a really, really interesting thing. And in another project during my master's degree, I explore more textual posts, and I try to inference or predict people's personality. And this was my master's degree thesis. So it was different projects, but with the same AI field. I don't know if I am answering this question. Can you do again the question? Sorry.
Yeah, it's really interesting for me. I would like to know more about the personality. How did you manage to find, because I know that in psychology you have different type of tests. So I would like to know more about that.
So we have a different metrics to measure the personality, and I am using the Big Five metric. So it's easier, for example, for us to deal with the personality, because personality, we have the amount of traits. So Big Five, we have 5 traits, and we have the extroversion, the openness, neuroticism, and all the others that I don't remember now. And all these, our personality, it's all of these 5 traits. And what I did in my master's degree was to try to predict with, okay, so you share your opinion and all the things that you want in social media. So I was using the X or the Twitter, and I extract all the text that you shared on social media, and I try to, okay, so let's try, based on the textual data, what we can talk about this person, like what is the personalities. But it was like this big screen, like, okay, based on your textual data that you shared and you write, what we can tell about you, and especially about your personality, but with the Big Five.
No, it's really interesting, and I was thinking about I do something similar, so that's why I'm also
That's
so
fine.
curious about it. Do you think that, because it's something that it really concerns me, I'm really worried about that. So when we talk about social media and we have in general online discussions, sometimes you see, especially, I don't know if it is a consequence also of generative AI, the fact that many people right now can use bots in a way that is simple than it was before. So we have a lot of profiles that are fake, and there maybe they are used also to generate weird opinions or just political stuff. So do you think this is something that has ethical concerns, that we can in some way fight against it? How the general user that just go through the social media can pay attention to this, can make sure that they will not be influenced by something that is not a real person, it's just a bot?
This is really hard, especially to answer this question. It's really hard. The first thing that I advise is to try to get in touch with different opinions, and with this you can diversify the opinions and diversify all the main resources that you have there, because we have the bubble effect in social media.
I understand what you want to say. So basically, the fact that we are under our bubble, everything is a sort of recommendation system. So we see what we interact for. So basically, it's like if we are feeding with fake news or with biases, at some point we will only see those. So that's why it's important to diversify.
So you need to diversify, but the main thing is the fake news that Gen AI can generate. So this is really hard. And I don't have the answer for you right now, like, oh, what you can... I think the first thing is to search on internet, like, okay, so I received this message, but I don't know if it's a fake news or it's not a fake news. So let me check in a trust website or in a trust news. So try to not explore, but search
Don't
on
go with
internet.
the autopilot, basically. Don't accept everything that you see.
Yes, don't accept everything that you see and check the news. So yes, so I think this is some tips that I can talk with people, like what they can do to avoid fake news and avoid to stay in bubbles and not be a robotic person that accept everything that receive on social media, especially.
Really interesting. I was thinking when you mentioned about how you recognize if it's a fake profile or not, and I was thinking it's hard, right?
Right now, social media don't ask you really to create a very complex profile. So it's kind of hard
Yes. And
to
it's
understand if that person is real or not. There are some cues. Sometimes you see the account is just new or has not been used for several years. And then at some point you have some interaction. Is weird too. Especially, I think about Italy. There is a boom in creating bot with ladies that are beautiful and they travel around the world and people comments and so on. And there is this sort of weird thing where there is this interaction. It's like it's not a real person. You're interacting with a bot
Crazy.
that probably is trying to have money with your interactions. So it's a weird space right now, I will say.
Yes, and especially because social medias, they need to help people. For example, I don't know if it's right or what developed when I saw this news, and it's about Meta and especially X, and these CEOs of these big companies. They talk like, oh, we remove our AI that check if the message is a fake news or not. So this is a really problematic way to choose to remove, because not everyone, especially we have the variable that it's really sensitive, that is the age. For example, people that it's older don't have the okay,
This double, like
they can use
they
the
don't think
internet.
twice before
Yes, they can.
saying this is weird.
Yes, they can use like us. They can use the internet so easily. So it's really dangerous when you remove this first barrier. So I saw on a news, but I don't know if they already removed. But this is really, really problematic when, okay, we can talk with people about the problematic about the fake news and they can check. But if the social media don't give us this safe space, so it's really, really hard. It's more hard than we are thinking.
Yeah, Steph mentioned about the bots in Italy. I had a specific situation also, but it's not related this situation, but it's related to blockchain. I started posting things about blockchain on my YouTube channel, and I received many people saying things like, "That's so crazy," and
and one thing about fake news, so there are two things that for me are so annoying. First thing is that here in Canada, so Leticia, you cannot see it in Italy. I don't know in Brazil, but here in Canada, we have on Meta platform a sort of block for everything that is a news. So, which is weird because we don't have any more block for like to identify if it is a fake news or not, but we are blocked from reading news on external site. So anything that is related to any TV channel posting something about what is happening out there, we
on Instagram, right?
Anymore. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I'm obliged to have a VPN to read about what is happening in Italy, for example. And the second thing is that here in Canada, in the last year, I did a test. I collected more or less 200 people reaction. I basically show very short fake news videos. And then I ask people if this is real or not. And I think almost 95% of people were like, yeah, it's real. And the problem is that it was so fast for them that they didn't even recognize that there was something that was not real in what they were watching. And it's concerning because if you think about scrolling in a passive way through TikTok or also Instagram, is automatically put in your head. Like you don't have filters, you think that is real and that's it. And it is concerning for us, for our age, but I think also people that are older than us, that maybe, I don't know, they're doing stuff on their houses, and then they hear something on the TV that is not maybe double checked. And then at some point they say, yeah, that's true, 100%. And then it was a fake news. There was the Hollywood sign. It was, yeah, it's destroyed and so on. And then it was generated by AI. So yeah, it's kind of challenging right now to identify what's the truth or not.
Yes, and when we talk about fake news, we have a dangerous part that is the confirmation bias. Fake news and all the bubbles that we are talking about in social media, it's really dangerous because when you saw on social media something that you agree, but it's not true, but you shared because it's something that, okay, I agree with this opinion. Okay, so I believe this happened. So when we have this confirmation bias and fake news, especially when fake news is working with Gen AI, so Gen AI generate some text that is really human, like you saw the sentence and say, no, human write this, but it's not, it's artificial intelligence. So when we join Gen AI and fake news and social media, it's a really dangerous place. So we are human and we have this confirmation bias. So when someone share or when you get in touch with this kind of news and you saw, oh, I will share because this is my opinion and I don't care if it's real or not. So fake news have this more problematic thing that is this bias.
Yeah, so basically, as AI evolves, we need to be increasingly careful about it. Yeah, it's such an important point, and we need to bring ethics the core of AI projects. Now, to wrap up the questions, well, Laura, you've been actively involved in empowering women in tech, from founding AI Girls to contributing to projects like the book IA para Mulheres. I follow you on Instagram and I saw all this happening and I'm super happy for you. So this book basically highlights female perspectives, transformative future. So how has your personal journey as a Brazilian woman in tech influenced the way you approach these initiatives?
Thank you so much. This project was a really amazing thing. My journey as Brazilian woman in tech has given me firsthand experience of the barriers that still exist, especially regarding access, representation, and support. And that motivated me to create communities and a safe space for Brazilian women like AI Girls. So AI Girls, it's a community that aims the inclusion and the empowerment of women in AI. And all this view has helped me to contribute, helps me to help other projects such as IA para Mulheres or AI for Women in English. And this project was a book that I had the opportunity to write with 13 women, 13 Brazilian women, where each of us shared their background and the diversity of point of view in the use of AI, especially in Brazil. So this was a beautiful collectivity project. And my article was about how to teach AI to children. But considering that not all the schools in Brazil live in the same reality and not all have the same technology infrastructure. And this can generate more and more inequality in the job market because children and young people who are not adapted to the world centered by AI and data may have difficult accessing jobs. So thinking about this, I went to literature and I identify a very interesting area or field that we can explore in Brazil. The name is unplugged computing. Or when we are talking about AI, it's unplugged AI. And this field aims to teach computing or AI, but without using technology research like computers, cell phones. So we are teaching AI and computing through practical activities. And with this, I propose some exercise in the chapter that I wrote. I propose some exercise that teachers can work on to teach children about AI. And last week, I had the opportunity to travel to Boston and Cambridge in the US in order to launch the book at the Brazilian consulate and at Harvard. And nowadays, I'm still helping so many Brazilian tech communities for women like Programaria, Womaker's Code, PyLadies, and Google Developer Expert. And for me, all these efforts are about building spaces where women and others minority group can see themselves as a leader and innovators, not just participants. And coming from a background where female tech roles models were rare, I strongly believe in the power of building support networks and amplifying different voice because true transformation comes from diversity. So that's all what I did, and that's why I do what I do.
Thank you, Laura. Like, you are truly an inspiration, and it's amazing to see your experiences that support other women. Thank you for creating space where more women can see themselves in tech. This is really important. And also, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us, talking about NLP and all this word.
Yeah, so we will back with this podcast in June. We will not go on vacation, no summer vacation for us. We will go back next month. And also we are having more and more subscription for Women Make Tech, which is basically our series of practical tutorials. We will just planning the next recordings, and so you will be able to see our advertising everywhere in the internet when we will have the video ready for you. And it will be interesting because we will not talk only about AI, but any type of tech. So web development, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and so on. So it's really something practical and for any type of tech that you might be discovered or you might want to explore more.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much,
Thank
Laura.
you, Laura.
Thank you so much, Stefania, for being here today sharing this. And thank you for listening us in this episode. And we'll see you next time. Yay!
Bye.
Hi, I'm Jihoo. I am an ambassador of Women Tech Makers. I attended Google Cloud Next for the first time and it was fantastic. This year, Looker was highlighted as one of the key tools which made the experience particularly meaningful for me. Looker is a business intelligence platform by Google Cloud. And I began my career as a data analyst learning it. Now I design, perform training on Looker for my team at work. So it was wonderful to meet people who work for Looker and I had the chance to ask them questions. During the conference, I focused on attending Looker sessions and some sessions covered also BigQuery alongside Looker. That provided me a great opportunity to learn about new AI features in BigQuery. Now I am interested in some hands-on exercises with BigQuery. And the expo was excellent as well. I visited booths from various companies, not just Google Cloud. That was another opportunity that the conference gave me. So, and I recognized some familiar tools that I use at work. So I stopped by their booths to discuss my curiosities. While exploring the expo, I encountered a couple of surprise tasks as well. And they definitely enhanced my enjoyment of the event. Actually, I completed both of them, the passport events and the skill challenges, and I earned some cool swags. So overall, it was fantastic and enjoyable experience. I would love to attend the conference again next year.
Yeah, so I'm Stacy Verano. I'm the one of the organizers of GDG Cloud Montreal, so the Google Developer Group, cloud-centric, based in Montreal. Thanks for the invitation. Truly appreciate it. Basically, I've looked at like the entire like a Next 25 recap experience, and it was great. But there was a little something that's not really Next related, but right before Next, there was an actual like GDG North America Summit where all the community that drive GDG was actually present. Well, all the North America community was actually present, and that community brought us over. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the community and the organizers because you brought us there. You gave us access to Next, which gave us access to content and be able to give you feedback through this podcast. So I wanted to give a big thank you. The biggest thing for me, I've been to Google Next multiple times. So the biggest one for me this year, because I went as a individual contributor, not through my employer. So again, thanks for GDG. It was really like it's about the people. For me, it was really about the people. It's everybody I was able to reconnect or connect with while I was there. It was, as your professional life grows, like things split apart, people go somewhere else, but sometimes they stay within the ecosystem, and then you just reconnect the dot and have this huge mesh of people you're able to reconnect with and what they're doing, the field they're playing it. And so it was really great. Of course, it was not just about the people. It was like, for me, that was the highlight as a great follow-up through the GDG North America Summit. Of course, there was technology. We're at a Google event, so there is technology in there. So if we take it like, let's say, like low-level stack, like the infrastructure, then we kind of build it up. On the low-level side of things, like the things that I've loved, they've mentioned like the AI hypercomputer. So like the Ironwood TPUs and the VLLMs and the ability to bring all of this VLLMs and TPUs inside like compute, GKE, Vertex AI, I think like Dataflow also. So you have access to this new stack and we're far from like the hyper cool services. Like we're really low in the stack, but it was a great announcement. And since we're like talking about like services talking to each other, and then everything that's kind of a lower, but when we're low, there's also the networking part that's there. So Cloud One was a big announcement for Google Next. Kind of have a hub that connects the entire your global enterprise and network, like around like an AI centric kind of thing. It's like, yes, we're on Azure, yes, we're on the AWS, yes, we're on prem, and yes, we're also on Google Cloud, but let's leverage Google Cloud's technology as a massive hub of interconnect to orchestrate everything to make sure it stays safe, but also in a way that is single pane of glass. So that was like a huge announcement, kind of bring all this under like this big umbrella of, yeah, it's a wide area network, so let's make a service out of it. That was good. And if I stay in the low-level stack, even though we're talking about like Gemini and everything that was announced, there's Gemini on Google Distributed Cloud, which is basically, if you're using GDC, Google Distributed Cloud, it's like you have a rack of Google inside your data center, basically. So that's something that exists with GKE and other stuff, but now you're actually able to run Gemini on-prem. So if people have actually like sensitive data that they cannot expose to any public services, even though you're privately connected to Google, Azure, AWS, whatever, now you're able to bring the power of Gemini in a rack inside your data center. So like I have super private like PII data that I cannot process outside. I need to process inside, but I would do it with the power of Gemini. I'm able to do that. So that was like a huge announcement, because that's a big, like all the banks and financial institutions, they all have like their like regulations is insane. And we all know that like a good AI is also a good AI that has good data, that can also like do RAG on it. And if my RAG is in my data center but I cannot expose it, then I have a problem. So that for me, like on the low level infrastructure kind of thing, that was a big one. I've mentioned Gemini, and then of course like it's AI and agents everywhere. Like it's it's last year was like AI intense, like, but this was like 10x this year. Like the ADK, the agent development kit, like open source kit that also supports MCP. So anybody who played with Claude and is able to do like model context protocol, where like your agent-to-agent piece is basically like inside the stack, I have a protocol where agents can talk to each other and stay within the context of, or the constraint, I would say, of Google Cloud. But then I have the MCP integration where it's like, okay, I have stuff running in Google Cloud, but then I have a little dotted line where I can actually talk to an MCP server and interact with an external system, which is what MCP does. So basically, you could do an entire deployment of a GKE service through an agent-to-agent because you ask about it, and then it deployed and everything was fine. And then through MCP, you can, like if this deployment is successful, you can have it blink the lights at your house when it's like, that's basically how far you can go. So that was great. Having MCP integrated now, like the support is massive. Everybody's using it. It's kind of like we're seeing this, I'm coming from like a background of operations, so everything you could do through like Ansible, Puppet, Chef, Terraform, and all that. You're automating processes and stuff can actually link to each other. We're getting there, but in the agent space, where you're able to actually create flows, create automation, and having like agent to agent, like through the ADK and MCP, really great. Again, in the agent, like I mentioned, the agent, that's the agent space. So basically, it's like a marketplace for agent. So anything you can run within your browser, like Chrome Enterprise, also like within Notebook LM, also a great tool that's always there. So that was a good integration. But engine-wise, like I love security, so I talk about security a lot. But in the agent space, so the SecOps agent, basically that helps you do like automatic triage of security incidents, and also the threat intelligence agent for malware analysis that were announced. It's like big things. So for me, that was in my top 10. And if I kind of wrap this all up in one thing for product, because like there's agent, there's the stack and everything, but if I go at the product levels, like if I'm going from bottom and I've reached the top, the Google Unified Security for me was like the biggest thing, where everything that they had, like even the Wiz acquisition and everything and the Mandiant acquisition also, that it's got all of those platforms brought in together through a platform that does continuous monitoring, threat detection, remediation. You can do red teaming with the AI. So like you're the good guy, the AI is the bad guy. You're able to do your thing inside an entire platform powered by the Google AI, basically, and leverage you're able to run this on a planet scale fabric. You're on the Google network, so please ingest the data. No, not a problem. We'll keep you safe, and you're able to have AI as your as your buddy to help you through this if you're in SecOps. So for me, it kind of sums it up. Like people. That was awesome. Looking forward for next year. Of course, awesome stuff on the hardware side. Agents, awesome. Security, top notch. That's basically just, I would say, like I just left the cover on the little piece of what Next 25 is. Big place on the developer side and everything. But for me, that was my my hot takes of Google Next 25. I'm really looking forward for Next 26. We already know the dates. We just need to know if we're going.